What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, episode 87. And for those who have been watching and listening, please like and subscribe. I'd be much appreciated. And the more people like it, the more my story as a creative entrepreneur gets spread into the YouTube verse because I think it needs to be heard. So, yeah. So, this episode I would like to talk about why I create story arcs, EEPMON story arcs for myself. So, what is an arc? For me, an arc, there are four arcs. Just like in business, there are quarterly results Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So, basically, 12 months divided by 4 is 3 months each for an arc. By doing so, it's interesting, and I don't know if fellow artists feel the same way too. But it's like an adventure, right? It's a story. It's like, where will the hero EEPMON venture next in the next arc, or what will EEPMON encounter during the arc 1 of 2024. And I would conjure up a theme song. I would think about the opening act. Who will I meet? You know how those shows or anime where they have like these like theme songs, and then the protagonist goes against and challenges and obstacles and people that the character will meet along the way, and new characters to anticipate to be meeting down the way. You know, like I sounds kind of crazy, but I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks these things. But I think that gets me excited, right? It gets me charged up. You know, think about, okay, theme song enters EEPMON 2024 Arc 1, Arc 2, Arc 3, and and as I prepare these upcoming arcs, I think about it. Actually helps me warm up in my mind what to prepare for, what to anticipate, and also some of the unknowns that uh well, I don't know what's going to happen, but sort of the mysteries and the serendipitous moments and connections that could happen gets me excited. So in my mind, I listen to music, and then I would just daydream. I just daydream and think about all these possibilities, and I get excited by that. And for those who follow me on Instagram, or you notice me sometimes I put EEPMON Arc 1 2024 and Arc 2, Arc 3, etc. Again, like I'm projecting the story as it unfolds for my audience to see, whether or not they know that I'm doing this because it's part of an adventure or not. But for me, it's well, part of the marketing, but also, like I said, part of like the exploration and the adventure for my followers to follow me along and see the progress or the encounters in which I will, um, engage in. So, so yeah, I mean, so I'm already creating. So we're now completing arc 2. No, we're in arc 3. Oh, what am I talking about? We're in arc 3, and arc 3 will conclude end of September. And up to that point, there will be, of course, the band form that's coming up, and then also preparations for arc 4, the commencement of the Asia leg of the EEP adventures, right? Um, so I think these are great. These are good because, again, not only is just sort of like creating these amazing daydreaming kind of like stories of the hero going through their own life path, but as a checkpoint, milestones and checkpoints. Like I said, as I mentioned, I can't look past 3 or 4 months at a time. It it also helps inform me of the things that I'm engaged in right now, the things that I want to accomplish, and the things that I'm looking forward to, um, based on what I'm developing now. What I hope is it will uh, provide and inform what will shape into the future. So that's why I have these arcs: EEPMON arc 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then, yes, might as well have fun with it. Have a theme song to go with it. um, but yeah, it's a good exercise, right? And what I do sometimes is that when there's a lot on my mind, I would just I literally get out a piece of paper or my notebook and I write down, okay, between arc 1, what's happening, what's happening 2, what is potentially happening 3, and what's potentially happening 4. Lay it all out and sort of mind map to really sort of again connect the dots, see how each arc is influenced, how the subsequent arcs are influencing each other, and it would provide you a good holistic visual narrative of defining and establishing your goals, your things that you want to develop, places you want to go, outstanding things you need to do. It's like it's like another project management tool. So yeah, it's the arcs, I think, and very, very important. And look, we as human beings, we are our own character. We are our own characters. We are the main characters of our story, right? You, every individual watching this, you are your own main character navigating in this world because it's you, right? So what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to accomplish? It does not need to be, and look, I'm not saying it has to be like grandiose or like, big deal. Like, I think that the spectrum is up to you how you want to define your arcs. And even the most smallest detail that maybe some may not consider it significant, but if you do, that's perfectly valid. I have things that I want to do that people probably don't even give two shits about, but it means a lot to me. So I want to make sure that I note those things down for my own adventure. And funny enough, sometimes those small things that you think about that you may not consider it being impactful could be the very thing that makes it a big deal. So you never know. That's why it's always good to lay it all out and lay it all out into the arcs. This is tea, by the way. This is tea. So we have our own arcs. We're on our own missions, and to each their own. To each their own. And I've been doing this, this whole arc thing. I've been doing this like since over 10 years. Believe it or not. 2008, 2009, 2010. So much so that it's become a natural for me. It becomes second nature. That I don't. It's almost like I don't need to plan it. It just comes naturally to me. Natural to me. And yeah, like look, and I'm not saying that all my adventures are always gonna be rosy and exciting. It is, of course, without, but it is with challenges. These arcs I will face obstacles, challenges, anxieties, worries, right? so much unknowns, so much uncertainties. The good and the bad, the positives and the negatives. And that's why I think it's very healthy to lay it all out. What is life's adventure without obstacles? It would be pretty boring otherwise. Life would be so boring. It's like, oh, same thing over and over. Everything's fine. Everything's stagnant. But like I said in my previous episode, folks, nothing is ever stagnant and nothing is ever static. So, for us human beings, I always believe we should be as dynamic as possible, especially because we only have one life. So, we should make good use of it and see our lives as grand adventures. Who will we meet? What obstacles will we face? What are the challenges? What are the blockers? Who will be our enemies? Who will be our allies? Who will we partner up, collaborate? Joining forces, joining talents, different worlds coming together, just like, One Piece. The devil fruit users. Who would think that, this character and this character would combine forces to in an episode? I don't want to digress, but just the One Piece, Luffy is in Egghead Island, and the fact, I think it was a fan service, like Luffy, Lucci, Zoro, and who's the other guy again? The other CP0 guy. Anyway, it's like they had an epic battle during the Enies Lobby arc, but now with the Egghead Island arc, many years later, like probably I was like 10 years later, now they're together, stronger than ever. Originally were arch enemies, are now kind of partnering up and fighting against seraphims and all that. So it's cool, you just never know. With your talents and your skills and your abilities, and when you collaborate with other people who have these other incredible abilities too, what can you do? What can you create? That gets me excited. When I go to Japan, I'm going to meet so many great creatives and artisans. Maybe there's some partnerships and collaborations. What can we do? What can we do to join forces? Different worlds coming together. So already, Arc 4 is in the works. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you about why I do these sort of arc thingies. I don't know what title I'm going to call this episode, but anywho, like and subscribe. I hope you got inspired and feel energetic and want to go out there and set off in your own adventures. Have a great evening, have a great afternoon, have a great morning, wherever you are in the world. This is the channel Eeps, episode 87. Oh my God, 87. Okay, guys, have a great whatever, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.